I don't want to be the type of CEO that keeps staff at work waiting for, well, nothing, when they should be at home with their families. My name is EasyCap and it's great to have you here with us. I'm going to take some time today to show you exactly how you can create some shift rosters and determine exactly how many people you want on site during the course of your day. Right, way to do that, let's open up our staff schedules. Under staff, you see the staff schedules overlay. Click that and we go in there, and you can see that we by default have just a daytime shift schedule. Daytime runs from midnight until midnight, and I'm going to create a new slot. I'm going to call it quiet time, and I'm going to create a third one, and let's call it the graveyard shift. Yeah. Okay, so we have created three classes, three types, three shifts, and we're now going to start allocating that to certain times of the day. So with our graveyard shift selected, I'm going to make that from midnight until 4 o'clock in the morning. That's really the quietest time in the airport. And then I'm going to create a quiet time period from 10:30 until midnight, and then from 4 o'clock until, let's say, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's the kind of time where, yeah, there are passengers in the airport, but it really isn't that busy like it is during the middle of the day. So let's just check. Our first flight comes in at 6 o'clock in the morning, and our last flight leaves just after 10 o'clock at night. So between those times, we really do not have a lot of passengers in the airport. Obviously, by 3 o'clock in the morning, passengers do start coming in to get that early bird flight. So we've got these slots. I think I'm going to make this one a little earlier, 10 o'clock. We'll start our quiet time. And we'll start our graveyard from 11 o'clock that evening. So quiet time from 10 to 11, and graveyard from 11 until 4 o'clock in the morning, then back to quiet time until 6. Right, so we have to do this for each of our staff categories. So we do that for staff, our general staff, who are serving customers, ticketing and those kinds of things, and then let's do the same thing with our security schedules. So where should we make this? Quiet time from 10 o'clock till midnight, and again from 4 to 6, and the graveyard shift, let's say that, yeah, let's make that end at 3 actually, and because we do have passengers coming in from 3 o'clock in the morning. Our retail workers, let's make their quiet time from 9:30, because we will have far fewer people in the airport, from 9:30 until midnight, and the graveyard shift from 10:30. So that should be after the last flight has left, until 3:30, give our passengers time to get through the gates, and then until 5:30, shall we say? Let's make that quiet time. Okay, we have a look at our chefs. I'm going to do something special with our chefs. I am going to create let's call it extra time. Let's call that a high volume period, in fact. And believe it or not, I think I'm going to make that from midnight until, shall we say, 3:30 in the morning. And that's the time when our new stock arrives into the airport, into the kitchen, and we need to replenish the kiosks, the cafes, and any of the vending machines that we have across the airport. So I'm also going to create an extra time slot here from 11 until 2, that to cater for, let's say, our lunchtime volumes. And for janitors, yeah, we have 4 janitors allocated. I think I'm going to keep that pretty much consistent through the night and day. Right, so we've created the schedules, we've allocated those time slots, and now let's allocate the number of people that we want and in what positions we want them, based depending on those time slots. So we've selected the quiet time, looking at our staff, and I only want 2 of our ticketing kiosks and maybe only 1 of each of the gate attendants on shift. And during the graveyard shift, let's not have any of our gate agents around, and it should be good enough that we only have 1 ticketing agent on site. That means the other guys can go home, spend time with their families, and we obviously end up paying less in the way of wages. Right, that's what our staff schedule looks like. That's the graveyard shift. If we have a look at security for quiet time, we are always going to have people who could potentially want to walk through, but through the quiet times, let's just keep the numbers down. We don't expect high volumes, so I'm only going to keep 2 of the 7 stations open. So for our quiet time, we want 2 stations open, and during the graveyard slot, only 1 of the stations, being a bag scanner and a metal detector, should be open. Right, moving on to our retail workers. These are the guys who are manning our newsstands and the cashier desks at the cafe. We don't need all of them on site during the course of the night, so during the quiet time, let's halve that number. I think that newsstand can stay open. Let's close that one. We only need 1 cash register open, and let's not forget about upstairs. We don't need that one open, I think, during the quiet time. Certainly during the graveyard shift, we'll leave 1. Close those. Yeah, we can shut down the cafe. Again, let's not forget about upstairs. Good. Okay, let's start with our janitors. We have 4 janitors around on-site throughout the 24-hour period. I'm not going to change that. Okay, now for something interesting with regards to our chefs. Did you know that you can have more than 1 chef in a kitchen? And the way to do this is to right-click and increase the number here. I'm going to take this number to 3. Which means we'll have 3 during the peak period, the extra time slot, and just 2 during the rest of the day. Right folk, it's as easy as that. I hope you have found that interesting and useful to help you make the most of your sim airport. Please, as a content provider, we thrive on your feedback. Please do give us a like and drop a comment in the section below. Love to hear back from you. Great to hear from you guys.